Hey children, welcome back to one of the most enthralling, exciting, entertaining and enlightening session of Science Scamper for classes 6 to 8 by Educatup. And I am your super science teacher Ambika. At Educatup, we always empower all our students as how to think and not what to think. So if you want to experience the same, just subscribe to the Educatup's YouTube channel. The subscription button is just given below, guys. If you like our video, don't forget to press the like button and ensure to hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates from Educatup. Now without any further delay, let's start today's session, and the topic for the day is acids, bases and salts, isn't it? Something very colorful, sometimes colorless, but a mixture of all. So in this module, the topics which we are going to cover: acids, bases, indicators and their color change in acids and bases, then neutralization, then we are also going to cover about salts and neutralization in everyday life. Now let's see the first topic, which is acid. Now, acids are the substances which contain hydrogen in themselves. So, when they are put up in the water or when they are mixed with water, they give H positive or hydrogen ions in the water. They are sour to taste. खट्टा होता है taste में. For example, all the citrus fruits like lemon, orange, if you taste them, they are sour to taste because they contain different acids. Then they are good conductors of electricity in solutions. That means a solution containing acid will allow electricity or electric current to pass through it easily. They are generally colorless. Acids don't have a color and they may cause blisters on the skin. So if not handled properly and by chance if you get a drop on your skin, you can have a blister. Chala pad sakta hai. Even if the acid is strong, it can be burnt out. Alright. So now let's move ahead and see the next one. Action packed info, guys. Something very exciting and enlightening for you all. And what is that? Let's see. Pure rainwater is slightly acidic. We are not talking about acid rain, but we are generally talking about the rainwater. Even if the rainwater is not acid rainwater, a normal rainwater, it is still slightly acidic because it contains a weak acid, that is carbonic acid, H2CO3 in it. Now this acid is formed when carbon dioxide in air combines with the water vapor in the air. Automatically it forms. So this is a acid which is present in every kind of rainwater. Alright. Now let's move ahead. Again some action packed info, guys. For you it's a kind of a bingo, isn't it? One by one getting to know a lot of different things. So let's see what it is. Different food materials and the acids present in them. So if we talk about milk and curd, it has lactic acid. If we talk about proteins, it has amino acid. If we talk about tea, chai patti, even it has tannic acid. If we talk about vinegar, it has acetic acid, apple, malic acid, tamarind or grapes, tartaric acid. Then your citrus fruits, citric acid, and cold drinks or carbonated drinks, carbonic acid. So a lot of acids are present in different food items. Now bases. Now bases are those substances which give negative hydroxide or negative hydroxyl ions in water when they are mixed in water. They are bitter to taste. For example, baking soda. If you taste a baking soda, जो खाने वाला soda kitchen में होता है, ask your mom if she will give you, just take a pinch of it, it will taste bitter to you. Then they are slippery to touch and they are also good conductors of electricity in solutions. That means if a solution is containing base, it will allow electric current or electricity to easily pass through it. Now, some examples are like NaOH, like for example, NaOH, MgOH whole twice, CaOH whole twice, NH4OH. Basically, bases always ends in OH. That is the hydroxyl group. Alright, now let's move ahead. Again, action packed info, guys, for you. This is a kind of a boon video, isn't it? So the common name, chemical formula and the chemical name of some bases. Like quicklime is known as calcium oxide and the formula is CaO. Slaked lime or lime water is calcium hydroxide and the formula is CaOH whole twice. If we talk about caustic soda, the chemical name is sodium hydroxide and that is NaOH. Caustic potash is potassium hydroxide, KOH. Washing soda is sodium carbonate, that is Na2CO3. Then milk of magnesia or antacid is magnesium hydroxide, which is Mg2OH whole twice. And baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and the formula is Na2HCO3. So these are some common bases, their chemical names and chemical formula. Children, these are very important. You should know them. Now let's move ahead. Indicators. Now what are indicators? An indicator is a chemical substance, children, which helps you to identify that whether a given product or whether a given material is acid or base. इंडिकेटर वो केमिकल होता है जिसकी मदद से आपको ये पता चलता है कि आपके सामने जो भी सब्सटेंस रखा है वो एसिड है या वो बेस। और वो कैसे पता चलता है? ड्यू टू अ कलर चेंज। इंडिकेटर से कोई ना कोई कलर चेंज आएगा जिससे हमें ये पता चलेगा कि हमारे सामने जो भी प्रोडक्ट है, जो भी सब्सटेंस है, वो एक एसिड है या वो बेस है। Now indicators are of two types. There are natural indicators also जो हमें नेचर से मिले हुए हैं, and synthetic indicators also जो हमने chemically बनाए हैं. So if we talk about natural indicators, we have three, that is China rose, red cabbage and litmus solution. And if we talk about synthetic indicators जो हमने बनाए हैं, so they are two, that is methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is most commonly used, and litmus paper or litmus solution. Now let's move ahead. Now, indicators and their color change in acids and bases. This is extremely important, children, because in chemistry lab, when you have to do, this test, that in two test tubes you have acid and base, and you have to decide that which test tube is containing which acid, means which one is containing acid and which one is base. Extremely helpful. This info is extremely helpful. So pay attention, children. Now, for example, litmus red and litmus blue. What does it mean? Litmus paper is available in two colors, red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. Both of them gives a different reaction with acid and base. Suppose if you have red litmus paper, if it's an acid, there will be no change in the color. If it's a base, it will turn blue. If it's a blue litmus paper, in case of acid, it will become red, and the base, no change. This no change or red color is in the change in the color of the paper. पेपर का कलर चेंज होगा, जितना पोर्शन आप डिप करेंगे उतने पोर्शन के लिए. ऑल राइट. देन इन केस ऑफ मिथाइल ऑरेंज, एन एसिड गिव्स रेड और पिंक कलर एंड बेस येलो और ऑरेंज. इन केस ऑफ फिनोफ्थलीन, एन एसिड रिमेन्स कलरलेस. यानी कि अगर फिनोफ्थलीन आपने एक एसिड में डाला है, आप डालते जाएंगे, एसिड में कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा, वो कलरलेस ही रहेगा. एंड द बेस टर्न्स पिंक, ब्यूटिफुल पिंक. देन रेड कैबेज, an acid turns red or pink and base turns blue or green. Then in case of China rose petals, an acid gives dark pink color and a base gives green color. And in case of yellow turmeric paper, in case of acid, no change. यानी कि yellow turmeric paper yellow ही रहेगा, आप उसे कितनी बार भी dip करें. अगर आप जिसमें dip कर रहे हैं वो क्या है? एक acid. And if it's a base, it will turn to brownish red, the paper. So I hope that what is an indicator and how indicators, give a difference between acid and base, you must have understood. Now let's move ahead. Neutralization. The process in which an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water is known as neutralization. यानी कि जब एक acid और एक base react करते हैं तो क्या बनता है? Salt and water. Now, for example, HCl plus NaOH has formed salt, which is NaCl, and water is released out. So, always remember, the product of the reaction between an acid and a base, जब भी एक acid और base आपस में react करेंगे, हमेशा क्या बनेगा? Salt. And water will be released out. A salt is formed by the reaction between an acid and a base. And this kind of reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Let's move ahead. Now, salts. A salt is a compound which is made up of one part of acid and the other part of base. So, the positive part is acid and the negative part is base. Now, for example, if we talk about any of the salt, for example, NaCl over here. So, Na is positive, Cl is negative. So, Na is the acid part, Cl is the base part or the negative part, you can say. This has come from acid, this has come from base. They both have combined and form a salt, that is NaCl, and NaCl is your common salt, जो नमक हम खाते हैं वो. Mostly soluble in water. Salts are mostly soluble in water. ये हमें पता ही है. आप नमक को पानी में डालेंगे, it will dissolve completely, a soluble substance. They help in the conduction of electricity because acids और base दोनों ही electricity के good conductors हैं, तो उनका product भी definitely electricity का good conductor ही होगा. And it is hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic का मतलब होता है कि moisture, जो nature में moisture है, जो water vapor है, उसको absorb करता है, automatically absorb करता है. It is hygroscopic in nature. Now let's move ahead. Now, neutralization in everyday life. How we are using this neutralization reaction in everyday life. If you are suffering from the problem of acidity, you know that if you remain empty stomach for a long time, अगर आप काफ़ी समय के लिए कुछ ना खाएं, आपका पेट खाली रहे काफ़ी समय के लिए, so the walls of the stomach start secreting an acid which is hydrochloric acid. HCl acid को secrete करने लगती हैं and you start feeling acidity. अजीब सा लगने लगता है, जी घबराने लगेगा, you will feel nauseatic. So to subside it, either you have to take an antacid, which is a base, or you have to take cold milk, which again acts as a base. So basically, antacids like Digene, a very common syrup available for acidity, is actually a base. So a base neutralizes the acid which has formed in your stomach. So that is how it works. Let's move ahead. Neutralization of bug bites. Wasp. Wasp is a very common insect which always bites. Now it bites with basic, मतलब उसका जो डंक होता है, उसका जो बाइट होता है वो बेसिक होता है, बेस होता है. तो उसको सबसाइड करने के लिए you have to use a lemon juice or vinegar, an acid. So acid subsides the base. Now in case of a red ant, जो लाल चींटी होती है, it's very scary. When it bites, it's like horrible. It bites with acid, इसलिए बहुत itching होती है, बहुत ज़्यादा itching. So to neutralize it, we have to use baking soda, base. Base will neutralize acid. Now let's move ahead. Acidic soil is neutralized with lime. जब सॉइल में एसिडिटी बढ़ जाती है बिकॉज ऑफ एसिड रेन, सो उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करने के लिए हम लाइम का यूज करते हैं. व्हाट इज लाइम? जस्ट नाउ आई हैव टोल्ड यू, दैट इज कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड, CaO, isn't it? Now move ahead. Now many factories are, almost all the factories are releasing their waste products and waste materials into the rivers. Now these waste materials contains a lot of acids. अब अगर ये ऐसे ही rivers में pour कर दिए जाएं तो जितने भी aquatic animals हैं, fish, crabs, you know, snails and all other aquatic plants, they all will die because acids का बहुत ज़्यादा impact आएगा उनके ऊपर. So before discharging, they are actually neutralized with the help of base, so that उन acids का असर ख़त्म हो जाए और उसके बाद वो waste material rivers में dump किया जाए. Actually तो it should not be dumped in rivers, but factories are doing so. But before doing so, they should ensure that the acids are neutralized with the help of a base. Let's move ahead. So finally we have come to the end of this super sweet amazing session of acid, bases and salts, and I hope children that you all have loved the video. So time to press the like button and ensure to subscribe to the Educative YouTube channel. Children, if you have any doubts, any questions, queries, please put your comments in the comment box below so that your super science teacher Ambika can get back to you. For me, it's time to sign out for the day. But till the time we meet again, be happy, be safe and keep enriching yourself with Educative. Bye-bye children.